Hey guys, this is me, Captain Awesome here, pretty much, and I'm going to be talking about why Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is such a huge build-up to a team that many of us fans love, especially DC fans, and that is the Justice League of America. Now, obviously, as we know, I'm going to go through the development as it's going to be a long video. Who knows, maybe others might come and join later, like some of the A-Horse Galaxy members. We'll see. But I'll just kick it off and I'll continue this ship going. Anyway, this is basically how it all started. Remember, after Man of Steel, which, made enough money at the box office, even though it's divided, made enough money, it was successful. And pretty much at the Comic Con, pretty much at first, everyone was expecting, I don't know, Superman's solo movie, a sequel. Then, that's what it was meant to be, but then it emerged into pretty much a Batman and Superman crossover movie, which pretty much changed the face of the future for the DC Cinematic Universe. Now, pretty much after that, scripts were changing with they went from David Goyer all the way to Chris Terrio, an Oscar-winning writer. Then after that, as we all know, another thing happened, and the interesting thing about that was pretty much Wonder Woman was put in the movie, casted with Gal Gadot and everything, and then after that, Cyborg, and then after that, Aquaman and The Flash and Green Lantern. There's been a lot of rumors about him being in it too. As we know, all the roles were casted pretty much, and everyone's been teasing their involvement within the movie. As we know, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman will all have main roles in this film. The others, like Aquaman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Cyborg, will probably have short roles. Now, the way I can see them building up, obviously, the Justice League in this movie is, look, Superman, obviously, before going into a Justice League movie, I think he definitely needs more development after Man of Steel, so this is perfect. This is a great way to develop his character and everything. Now, if we go to Batman, as we see the way they're portraying him more. As we know, this is definitely a reboot. This is not with the Dark Knight trilogy. They confirmed it. The great thing about it is they're going for more of a more experienced, older Batman and everything. And the thing is, Batman's been around for a long time. The only thing about it is he's been around, but nobody knows he exists. Like the public don't know he exists. He's pretty much like a myth to people, which is actually a really good way to make it work without a solo movie, obviously, before they cross over. Wonder Woman apparently has been around just like Batman as well, but you can get away with that. Her being fighting in Themyscira and stuff like that, is pretty cool. And hey, Tevya, how you doing? One of my fellow A-Horse Galaxy members, Tevya Smolka, is here. What up?
Hello.
Okay, Tevya, I'll tell you to speak in a minute. You can just mute yourself for a sec while I just continue to talk a little bit more, going into detail, and then we'll give your thoughts on this whole thing. Anyway, pretty much with the whole thing about, with this, as we know, and then Wonder Woman, obviously, she's going to be portrayed as, she's, obviously in, the Amazon and everything and stuff like that, and she comes from a different world and all that stuff. But she has been around as well, apparently. Now, obviously, Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg and Green Lantern have been reported to have smaller roles in the film, which, now, obviously, but the interesting fact is this, and that fact is it's the interesting factor of, we just got pretty much an official look at Aquaman a year before Dawn of Justice has even come out. So that's kind of interesting because think about this. I don't think anyone really expected to see Aquaman at all, until the actual film. So it's pretty interesting to know that they've revealed Aquaman to us. Plus, there have been a lot of rumors apparently about him and the Wonder Woman interacting and stuff like that, and apparently how he's going to be an anti-hero in the movie and stuff like that. The same thing with Flash, and Cyborg, playing their part. Green Lantern's probably had the least stuff about him, but he's been rumored to be involved as well. Now, obviously, I think we all know how this ends. As we know, because it's Batman v Superman, not Batman versus Superman, as Zack Snyder confirmed, the reason why they put Batman v Superman is because it's not a true versus movie. It's a big build-up movie to Justice League, which comes the year after, in 2017. So I'm going to let Tevya, because I'm going to let my friend Tevya over here, A-Horse Galaxy member, say his thoughts on why, for him, Dawn of Justice is a massive, huge build-up movie to the Justice League and everything. And Tevya, you can go ahead and just say your thoughts. Go ahead, mate.
Well, my thought on the whole Dawn of Justice build-up to Justice League, I'm excited for it because of DC, but on the other hand, though, this could could actually blow up in DC's one with face. Because here's the thing. Let's take a look back with Marvel. With Marvel Cinematic. And no, not the comparison, but let's take that.
No, go ahead.
Marvel had a plan.
Yeah.
And I don't know what year. I mean, 2006.
Oh, 2006. It was 2006, dude. They said it.
Oh yeah, 2006. And
Yeah.
the plan was this: since they couldn't use Spidey,
Yeah.
obviously, or the X-Men, or the Fantastic Four, with the Fox and one of Sony's now dead, and just one that's not talking that day. They decided to no. Did they have Ghost Rider or no? They didn't get Ghost Rider.
At the time, at the start of the MCU in 2008, no, because they got him back in 2012.
2012. Oh,
Because remember, yeah, because remember, dude, you know, even from 2008 all the way to now, they were still actually getting people back, the rights back from other companies. So yeah. But by the way, just to let everyone know on the rights situation, Marvel Studios now, after quite a lot of years of getting the rights back and already owning a lot of people, they now officially own pretty much most everything apart from X-Men and Fantastic Four, which is both owned by 20th Century Fox.
Yep.
They do have about 3 partnership deals with other companies like Sony with Spider-Man, Prince Namor, and the Hulk with Universal Studios. But if anyone wants to know the rights with DC, the thing with that is DC is rights situation is this. You don't need to worry, DC fans. Warner Brothers own the entire DC universe. That's why they're able to make 1 million TV shows, and that's why you never hear anything about, you know, any rights situation. They own everyone, and they can all be in the DC Cinematic Universe, so it's okay. Just with Marvel, pretty much they can't use Fantastic Four and X-Men, and that's it, really. But I think Marvel will be okay, and Fox are doing their thing with the X-Men, so everything seems like it's going okay at the moment with things. But anyway, Tevya, back to our point about, you know, what you were saying about DC. You said a good point. I want you to elaborate on the point of when you said, because you said how obviously this is a big build-up, which is exciting, obviously, Justice League, but you said how obviously it could blow up in DC's face if they get this wrong. So can you please, especially for the audience, elaborate on that?
All right. Well, here's the thing, actually. Like it could be good, but it could blow in their face, because if DC Transformers fucks this up, then they're really screwed. Because bear in mind, Marvel actually planned this in my game. I don't know how many years in advance to. I don't know what year they're planning.
It was trust me, it was a very long time, dude. But continue.
And when Marvel tried to do the universe, they decided to, and I quote that, okay, we don't want to act as all characters, so you know let's use Captain America, Iron Man, Thor,
Hulk, and a few others.
Black Widow, Hawk, and a few others. And the Hulk. What do Iron Man movie first? With Robert Downey Jr., which is an awesome casting because he Iron Man.
Exactly.
And well, when that movie was announced, people said, Iron Man, he's a fear as hell. He can't be done. This is be horrible. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I actually went with part of people when I saw the trailer because I thought the movie was gonna be bad. But back then I took a shot. I saw it, and I was amazed how good it was.
Yep. And as Tevya said, that was pretty much the start of the MCU in 2008. Brilliant start. This kicked off everything.
The Hulk.
Yep, and the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, 4, the list goes on. We could go on all day about Marvel. But we'll go back to DC. And Ellis, I want you now, because me and Tevya have been talking for a while now. Ellis, Tevya, just mute yourself for a sec so Ellis can talk. So there's no background noise. But anyway, Ellis, can you say your thoughts on why Dawn of Justice for you is a massive build-up for the Justice League movie coming in 2017? Go ahead.
Because it's the second movie that the DC Cinematic Universe have actually produced and created for the franchise. And it's one of the first films that you see more than one superhero together in the same movie, as the Justice League will be a taste of what the Justice League would be like. with more than one superhero in the same film. So, and basically, yeah,
Yeah, as Ellis said, pretty much this is the first ever DC crossover movie ever. They've never done one. This why it's such history in the making. But the truth is, this is going to be huge and everything. And yeah, we're all completely so excited for it, you know. But I'm going to go and elaborate on what Tevya said, you know, about where it could fail. The thing about it is, this is why it could, fail. And I think this is why I'm glad they're not making it where Aquaman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Cyborg are all, big roles. I'm glad that they're making them smaller. Because if you think about, with it just being about Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, it makes it more easier of a story and everything. And think about that. Look, they needed a build up for this movie. Because I think DC at one point, after the Avengers happened and the success with that, they were edging to bloody make frickin' Justice League straight away in 2015. They wanted it to come out in 2015 and go up against Avengers Age of Ultron. That would have failed because the only person you would have built up would have been Superman, and that's where it would have, because of Man of Steel. But the problem is, you wouldn't have built anybody else up, and that's where it would have all got so complicated, and everything would have failed. But luckily, because they're doing a build-up movie now, it's a lot better. Now, I'm going to ask Evention for his thoughts of why he feels that Dawn of Justice is a huge build-up movie for the Justice League movie in 2017. Go ahead, Evention.
Dawn of Justice is a huge build-up movie for Justice League because you have to introduce all these characters you have to introduce all these characters so that they can all have their, shared screen time. They can all be set up for Justice League and stuff, or at least be ready to be set up and stuff. And it all has to play out well in Dawn of Justice. Otherwise, Justice League is just gonna go into it and be like, wait, I don't remember that guy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. For me, when it comes to it, obviously everyone's really excited about the prospect of seeing all these characters together, all the characters getting built up and everything. Obviously, I'm gonna ask everybody here, and I'm going to ask them one by one. And I'm going to, Evention, as you just came in, I'm going to ask you first. If, you know how Marvel, obviously, with the MCU, they did it the right way. They made everyone have solo movies in Phase 1 right, and they're still doing it, which is great. They did it the right way where they built everyone up first completely, and then they did the huge crossover movie, and it worked. DC, as we all know, they're rushing to get to the Justice League movie, and as I said before, as long as they do a build-up like they are now, they've done Man of Steel, they've done, they're doing Dawn of Justice. As long as they do that, then I'm okay with it. But I'm going to ask you, Evention, would you have liked to definitely have seen DC have done, do after Man of Steel, done a Batman solo movie, done a Wonder Woman movie, all these movies all for the original Justice League members, and then the Justice League movie?
I think they could have, they should have kind of done the Marvel way where they did a couple solo. I don't think we would have needed a Batman solo movie because they could have introduced him in Justice League because it would have fit perfectly. Like he's been a myth and stuff. They tease it throughout all the movies, but yeah, I think they could have done a movie for these other characters that haven't really had their moment, and then that would have been better build up. But I still have faith in Dawn of Justice since Zack Snyder is an amazing director, and I have a feeling he's gonna pull another Watchmen on us.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a visually beautiful movie and everything. Ellis, what about you? Would you have liked to have seen them do it the Marvel Studios way, like they did in Phase 1?
Not really. Because it's different, and I think Dawn of Justice and everything coming out now, before, and all of these solo films coming out after the Justice League and everything, I think it's good. And I also think it's good that all these movies are set in dark and horrible places. I don't really know what to say. What was the question?
Sorry, did we just have another media guy? Oh my gosh.
God.
Okay, well,
I'm so sorry.
If you guys are watching this live and put in the comments right now, #memory.
By the way, can I say, if that rumor is true about apparently the crossover movies are the only movies in the actual, that are actually in the main timeline of present of what is actually going on, and everything else is prequels, I'm gonna be like, oh god.
Yeah, agreed. That just sounds stupid.
But that's only if. Now, obviously we'll go back to Dawn of Justice and everything like that, but pretty much, Tevye, you can say your thoughts. Would you have liked DC to do it the Marvel way, like Marvel did it in Phase 1, or would you like to do them the way they're doing it now? What would you have liked to see?
For me personally, actually, part of me would have wanted to do Marvel Studios way if they had a plan, which I want. But at the same time, though, I'm fine with them going with their own plan. But this idea seems more like a rush effort to capture the Marvel instead of planning ahead. Batman, DC had all the characters. They could have done it in a heartbeat before Marvel ever did it.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it. They decided to focus more on Batman, which, don't get me wrong, I love Batman and I love Nolan films. Or have always will. And here's the thing. Man of Steel was with your solo film. Isn't that the plan? But
Well, let me just say something about Man of Steel. Man of Steel, the ironic thing about it is, remember, before movie actually, when they were filming it, that movie was actually in 2012 when Avengers came out. That movie was actually meant to be just a standalone solo movie, like with no Easter eggs or anything. And then, because it was the summer of the Avengers, and you know how they announced Justice League and everything, pretty much Warner Brothers told Zack Snyder, okay, you're gonna make sure that movie's a shared universe now. You're gonna do Easter eggs and everything, and then we're gonna build to the Justice League. So, Man of Steel is, ladies and gentlemen, the official first installment of the whole franchise, and as you can see, there was Batman Easter eggs, Wonder Woman Easter eggs, all type of Easter eggs in there, Justice League Easter eggs. So, yeah, they did hint pretty well to the universe. So, but yeah, it's pretty exciting to see what they are gonna do and everything with it. Now, I'm gonna say my thoughts on the whole thing. Tevya's right what he said, because Marvel Studios, remember, did start their franchise from 2006, maybe even longer than that, who knows.
yeah.
But and DC only really started planning this whole thing like freaking 2012 they started doing it. Yeah, like 3 years ago. So they've only started pretty much in the last 3 years planning it. Now I don't mind it because Ellis is right what he said. It is kind of different, so I kind of like it. That's why I like that the DC Universe is happening, so I don't have to keep just watching the MCU. Even though I love the MCU so much, I would like to see DC do well with their cinematic universe, and you know, both sides to give us absolutely epic movies, you know. But at the same time, it is true. I think I'm okay with them doing this because I think at this point in time, we all wanted to see. We all were like sick and tired of just seeing Superman and Batman just have movies. Yeah. We wanted to see the universe, and we wanted to see the crossovers and everything at this point in time. So. Yeah, but anyway, look, I'm gonna ask everyone another really, really good question, pretty much about it and everything. As we know, there's some big movies next year and everything, like Civil War, like X-Men Apocalypse, hell, other ones that aren't even comic movies and everything. Alright, Ellis, you know, for your anticipation for Dawn of Justice, you know, from the development of the movie, like 2 years ago all the way to now, how do you feel, you know, your anticipation begun, and how do you feel it is now, and how it's changed for the 2 years?
I'm not really sure, to be honest, because what do you mean, anticipation for all the films that come out next year?
No, just this movie.
Well, I've always been a bigger Batman fan than anything else, and I did like the Dark Knight, but comic Batman, it wasn't the big, muscly, you know, the big, muscly, actually powerful Batman. Like, we didn't want to see Batman take on this guy that was in a gas mask with some army suit on. We wanted to see Batman take on a huge, like, Bane.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to see
Bane?
something.
Yep.
We wanted to see something super out of Batman, and we're finally getting it in this cinematic universe. And
yep.
My thoughts have completely changed since this whole production started. Man of Steel, it was definitely be in my top 10 favorite movies ever, because although it was realistic and that it was in a real world, there was still something stronger and much more powerful to it which is why my anticipation is really high for Batman v Superman.
Alright, before I go to anybody else, I'm just going to quickly do my thoughts because they're probably going to be long. With obviously, you're right what you just said there about Batman. It's true. Seeing him in the realistic world for the Dark Knight trilogy, even though they're awesome, epic movies, it is true. I think we needed to move on to the DC Cinematic Universe where it was going to be completely unrealistic, and we can see Batman really fighting someone like, example, someone Bane, but fighting him for real Bane, and all the unrealistic people, and we could go through the list, like for all the unrealistic villains he's got, and we would love to see it, and then there's all types of stuff and everything, and the thing about Man of Steel was Man of Steel treated the DC Cinematic Universe like it's meant to be, because it is true, it's like a universe full of gods, and that's the way Man of Steel was. It was showing Kryptonians were like way superior to the actual humanity. So you can tell with like the likes of Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Flash, and everybody in Cyborg, they're going to be like way superior compared to the humans, And Batman, as we know, apparently MMA skills and all types of stuff, and really heavily advanced weaponry and stuff, is going to be fucking awesome. Now, Evention, I'm going to ask you, what from when this movie was announced all the way to now, how has your feelings and everything about it changed, and how do you feel about going into next year now at this rate, especially after seeing the Aquaman picture and all the pictures and stuff like that and everything?
I'm still really excited for Batman v Superman. I always have been, because I've loved DC. To be honest, more than like before, I used to love it more than I love Marvel as a whole. And Marvel is kind of stuck around with me my whole life, and that's why since DC, after I'll be honest, after 2007 or something, DC started to kind of fade out in a way. Not to be rude on DC fans, but in my, I don't know, it just for me, it kind of faded out of my life and stuff. And then now I'm fine. I've always been a big DC fan, but I've never truly gotten back into the way I was, and this really is getting me back to the way I was about DC, because I loved it again a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Tevya, you can go. From when this movie started development all the way to now, and how do you feel about your excitement for the movie at this rate, and the development of it? Like, how's your emotions changed and everything for the 2 years?
For me personally, actually, with DC, with the whole when the movie was announced, I was excited, but at the same time, I was kind of worried, because, bear in mind, I love DC, and DC was one of my favorite company. Well, they used to at the until they after the New 52 but that's not what I did. I'm excited, but I'm worried, because if this fails, if this bombs, and this is not a good movie, then we're fucked. Because I'm not that like Marvel. Well, I grew up watching more DC, because I grew up on Batman animated, Superman animated series, Justice League, the Eliminated Teen Titans, not the new F-13 Gopi yet, but the real Teen Titans.
Yeah, Tevya, get to it.
Yeah, I grew up more on DC than Marvel, and I want DC to at least to succeed, because I'm not on Marvel. I want to have both universes. Do I want them to fail? No, of course not. Because if they fail, then we're gonna be forced to watch all the Batman show that's going on right now. It's sad, because the animation is now sucking right now, because Cartoon Network fucked the DC shows.
Yeah.
It's another lamp for another day. But bottom line is, please be good.
Yes, of course.
That's all I want. And if it sucks, you're gonna see a lamp video coming out.
Personally, for me, I believe in Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder, and I think this movie is going to be probably one of the greatest comic movies ever. Right? It's going to be something special. It's going to be cinematic history, visually beautiful, and it's going to be a huge, brilliant setup for Justice League. I just really, because Zack Snyder's made some incredible movies like Watchmen, 300. He even played a part in a way of producing and writing the script for 300 Rise of an Empire, which was kind of an awesome movie. And then obviously he did Man of Steel, which was a freaking one of the, it was one of the most incredible comic movies ever. My opinion, guys. If you feel differently, more power to you. But yeah, it was pretty amazing. And that's why I believe in it. I just can't wait to see this movie. Overall, it's going to be incredible. Now, obviously, with the DC Cinematic Universe, Tevye said a good point about how you were like, we want them both to do well. We want the MCU to do well, but also the DC Cinematic Universe, because it is true. If they both do well, they're going to make the best come out of each other, and then we're going to get some of the greatest comic movies ever for the next 5 years, and it's going to be brilliant, basically, just to be a comic fan. And the collection of DVD and Blu-rays is just going to be amazing. And it's just going to be awesome. So, guys, we're going to pretty end the video right now. So, Ellis, your final thoughts on Dawn of Justice and how huge it is and the Justice League and everything like that.
Finally, I think the reason DC have started building their franchise up now is because the competition between Marvel and DC is perfect. Because Marvel are going dark, DC are a dark franchise. They're both going to be perfect for competition, and I cannot wait to see these two companies go at each other, and I can't wait to watch Dawn of Justice. As you said, it's going to be visually beautiful. We're finally going to get a godlike Batman on the big screen who is able to take on Superman, and yeah, a great continuation to the franchise that they've started.
All right, Evention, your final thoughts on this topic.
I'm overall just so excited to restore my love for DC because, I love DC and I always will. It'll always have a special place in my heart. So I just hope everything's going to be awesome. I have great faith. And yeah.
All right. Tevya, your final thoughts.
I'm just hoping that the script is good. Goya is out, thank God. So maybe after we get a letter, and hoping that Zack Snyder know what he's doing, because if the script is bad and if it fails, which that just happened after a while with some bad movies, then we'll fuck. But at the same time, I'm hoping it's good because I want DC to at least do good in movies, or do have action movies. And as for Marvel and DC versus, I don't really care about that whole fanboy debate. Like, DC's better, Marvel's better. I don't care.
No, Tevya. That's not what we're really going on about. It's more the fact of, if Marvel and DC are both good, the franchises, then they'll bring out the best out of each other, and they'll both keep bringing good movies. I don't give a shit about that either, personally, because I'm a fan of both, like most of us all here in the community are. But truth is, it is all, if they both are great, then we're gonna get some awesome movies. But go ahead and finish your point. Devian?
I know. That's what I was trying to say, actually, because I want both companies to do good. I don't want no corporate BS involved, because if the movie is good, then I'll be so happy. If it's bad, and then it will destroy the entire franchise, which. Alright, that's what I have to say. Point is, please be good. That's all I want.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
If it was to be bad and the script was terrible, I'm sure DC would have given up on it by now.
Yeah, by the way, that's actually a really interesting thing, actually, because think about this. Chris Terrio is actually an Oscar-winning writer, and this is a guy they actually want, and I think he actually has signed up to do it. They want him so badly to do Justice League in 2017, so he's doing it. So, and what I've heard about a lot of people involved in the movie, Warner Brothers, the actors, Zack Snyder, Jeff Johns, like loads of them, have really praised the script. And apparently, after hearing cinematic history, visually beautiful and everything, it's like, and I think maybe Chris Terrio, remember with Argo, that Oscar-winning movie of Ben Affleck and Chris Terrio. Maybe this is going to be pretty incredible, mainly because obviously, Zack Snyder's obviously directing, but at the same time, you do need a solid script if you go behind Tevya. So I have a feeling, I have really good trust in Chris Terrio because he tends to do good scripts. So we'll have to wait and see how he does it, which hopefully he steps up to the plate. Yeah, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this live, thank you so much for going and watch this later on my channel when it's uploaded. And guys, pretty much, if you want to subscribe to everybody's YouTube channels, the links are in the description. Ellis, tell them where else they can find you.
You can follow me on Instagram at ohmyfanhouse. You can follow me on Twitter at elshamouse, and you can subscribe to me. Links in the description.
Okay, Evention, tell them where else they can find you.
You can follow me on Twitter at I'm Evention, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Links in the description.
Okay, Tevya, tell them where else they can find you.
You can follow me on Google Plus. You can subscribe to my channel. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, and that's about it.
Okay, there you go.
I don't
Guys,
have I don't have Instagram.
if you wanna follow me on Twitter, Captain Wilson 93, follow me on Instagram, Captain Wilson 93, and if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. We are the A-Holes of the Galaxy. We'll see you guys later. We're out. Bye.